running late to work. Or getting that one curly fry. Hearing your favorite song when you are stuck in traffic. And some moments you just can't explain. On TikTok, this kind of stuff happens every single day. Just real people, real videos that make your day. TikTok.
I feel like I need to set this up so that I can video it.
Hi everyone. Welcome. Are you excited? This is kind of a hot topic, right?
Yes.
TikTok. I'll just start with a few introductions. Let's see here. Oh, by the way, TikTok, what the heck is happening and how can I get in on it? Are you feeling that way?
Yes.
Okay. This is the one from yesterday. Sarah, do we have the updated one? Sorry guys. Okay, we're just gonna roll with it here. We're gonna roll with it. So I'm gonna do quick introductions. First of all, on the end, we have Stephanie Hines.
Woo!
Stephanie. So Stephanie leads talent management and operations team at TikTok, where she spearheads operational excellence of the creator and public figure teams, as well as growth, satisfaction, and elevation of all U.S. talent on TikTok. That's a small job. Stephanie has a background in digital media and has over 7 years experience in developing and managing influencer-directed programs. She specializes in creating and executing top-tier programs with some of the world's best content creators. Stephanie lived and worked in London, New York, and LA, giving her a broad perspective with regards to talent, landscapes, and on an international scale. She is also here with Emma Gribben on the partner management team, who's right over there from TikTok also. They're going to be around later, so you're going to stalk them, but they're going to be here to answer your questions. And we're going to move on to Anna O'Brien. Anna has 4.3 million TikTok followers. She's a stereotype-shattering fashion lifestyle blogger on TikTok. In between life as a plus-size model, she was formerly in New York, now you're in Austin. She shares positivity on TikTok and other platforms. As the author of the book, A Life Full of Glitter, a guide to positive thinking, self-acceptance, and finding your sparkle in a sometimes negative world, she's an expert on teaching people how to love themselves and live life without limits. She's also a TikTok creator ambassador and also represented TikTok on stage at the Cannes Lion. She educates brands how to use TikTok and has recently been mentioned in a number of press articles, including Elle magazine, and involved in large brand campaigns with Target, Amazon, Fenty, Oreo, the list goes on. So let's welcome Anna O'Brien. Okay, so this is Drea Okeke. Drea is a Nigerian-American content creator, entrepreneur, and influencer. She's well known for her relatable comedic skit videos posted across social media. With TikTok being her strongest platform, Drea was a Shorty Award 2019 finalist for TikToker of the Year. The former Penn State and USC Trojan grad only has a passion for entertaining, but also for making positive difference in the world. Her humor encourages, educates, and captivates her audience of over 4 million supporters daily. She also represented TikTok at the Cannes Lion Festival and done campaigns for CoverGirl, Secret, Chipotle, and the list goes on. So these are some amazing creators and work with brands, and they're going to be around too, so I'm sure you're going to want to pick their brain. This is me. I'm a stalker, I'm a voyeur on TikTok. This is my profile. I don't have any videos yet, but I'm Barbara Jones. I'm the founder and CEO of Blissful Media Group, which is an influencer marketing agency. I'm here with my partner, Paula Bruno, and we also, I don't know if you've ever heard of the Blistum Conference. We're the founders of the Blistum Conference, which used to run from in US and Canada and just came back last year. And also I'm the founder of Outshine Talent, which is a new talent management agency, and I represent TikTok creators Charlie and Dixie D'Amelio. So let's get on with the program. Okay, so a few stats. This is from Sensor Tower. This is the most recent that I had, but available in 154 countries. TikTok has been downloaded over 1.5 billion times worldwide, over 123 million times in the US. And in fact, November of, I thought this was a good stat because of where we are, but in November 2019, number 2 most downloaded app, second only to Disney Plus, which is pretty huge. And obviously TikTok on the growth team doesn't really need my services anymore because they're doing just fine on their own. So I thought we would maybe sort of touch on some of the most popular niches and trends that are happening on TikTok, and I'm gonna hand it over to, I think Stephanie, I'm gonna start with you. Okay. So let's talk about some of these different trends and niches that are really popular on TikTok.
Yeah. So I think everyone probably thinks that TikTok is a dance and comedy platform. It's not. There's so much more content on there, including all of the things that are listed here as well as others. We see a lot of creators from all around the US coming onto the platform and really showing us what their passion is. So, and our users really respond to that really well. So Drea is a little bit more comedy focused, and does a lot of different things. So I think they can talk a little bit about maybe creators they love in those specific niches, as well as like what they do.
So, hi everyone. For me, I do comedy videos. Most of my videos are relatable. It's kind of videos you watch and you're like, oh my gosh, that's so me, and I do a lot of collaboration with other people because I love doing like sketches. I do a lot of my videos talk Nigerian, so I impersonate my Nigerian mom. If you show her the video, she's like, that's not me. I'm like, yes, mom, that's you. So a lot of my videos have a lot of culture to them because that's my identity. It's very authentic to who I am, because if you meet me, I'm very proud of my culture, and I'm like, you gotta come to Nigeria. So I can't bring everyone to Nigeria because it's expensive, but I can show you that through my content,
So for me, I think I represent what a lot of you could be on the app. I don't do comedy and dances. I mean, I occasionally do because I show all sides of myself on the app, and I think that's really, really important. But I got popular on TikTok with a video that was a travel video. I went to bed, I was in Cuba, I walked around the streets, put up an outfit video, went to bed, just different scenes of Cuba, woke up, and I had 1 million followers.
Wow.
So to say that you have to do dance or comedy to be successful on the app is actually not true. So I think that if that's in your head, get it out, because I am a living example of that not being true.
And I think too, I think that you guys are all content creators. You are perfectionists likely. You want to do it the right way. And I think what you have to kind of realize is that there is no right way on TikTok other than almost not overthinking it, right? So it's like picking up, everybody has their own different ways of creating their content. Some are very intricate. I mean, sometimes, and it will take you a very long time because you craft everything very specifically. But other people will just, be in the moment and not have it super produced and just let it go because it's what they're feeling right then. I think for teens, they feel like it's really accessible and it's very easy for them just to like set their phone down and make it happen. In fact, very official tripods for phones for TikTok are water bottles, toilet paper rolls, plants.
Plants are great.
Car doors.
On the car door.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very high tech. Usually a TV table and a whatever. So, but I think what are the areas where you feel like there's opportunities in some of these niches?
I think fashion is a huge opportunity, especially right now after a couple of fashion weeks have just happened, one going on at the end of this week. We've seen a huge rise there, but there's still room for breakout creators to really come out in that space. Education is something that is a really hot topic inside of TikTok right now, whether that be medical professionals educating us on the coronavirus or like what they do day to day, as well as like DIY, anything that makes you leave TikTok feeling like you've got something out of it. You've gone away and you've learned something, and that can be whether it takes you, again, 4 hours to create that DIY piece of content, or 15 seconds to speak to the camera and tell someone something?
I think the key point is to be interesting,
Yes.
right? I think on other channels it's about being beautiful and well composed and aspirational, and on TikTok it's really about being relatable, right? So everything you should create should be something that I can connect to and that I don't feel isolated by, right? So it's not about being perfect. It's not about the best lighting and the best clothing. It's about providing something that the person either walks away learning something or feeling like there's somebody else like me in the world.
Yep.
Super relatable.
Being able to tell your story through your video. So there's like a long-term impact to short-form content, because as you know, TikTok is a short-form content platform. But you can post longer videos, like I think a minute, right?
59 seconds.
Yeah, 59 seconds. But it's just like being able to just be yourself and having fun on the platform. Because for me, I feel like TikTok versus other platforms, I can just put whatever, like the in-the-moment videos without having to like structure it so perfectly. Like whenever I can tell you, I collaborate with a lot of different influencers, especially coming from other platforms, and they come to TikTok and they're like, wait, fix your shirt is this way. I'm like, nah, leave my shirt alone. Like I like to have it that way, because then in the comments of my videos, they're like, did you see like her shirt had like a stain on it or something? It's very much authentic and real, because they can relate to that, you know? So it's like kind of redefining how social media is. Like instead of being so perfect, imperfection is perfection now, you know?
And I will say this, and Drea will back me up on this. Every video where I'm like, oh, I wish I'd done this better, I wish this was cut better, I wish this was edited better, I wish my dress didn't have that wrinkle in it. Every video like that is the one that gets millions and millions and millions of views. So it is very different than the world that you exist in some other channels. They want that imperfection, because you're not relatable if you're perfect.
For sure. And so let's talk about a couple of the tips of when you're actually posting, and some of the things that you want to think about when you're picking and creating your posts. So do you want to start, you guys?
Oh, yes, I'll start. So sound is like a huge part of the platform. For some reason, music is a huge part. So as you're scrolling through their For You page, and the For You page is basically just a feed that has a whole bunch of videos. For me, when I'm scrolling through and I hear a song that I'm familiar with, I would stop to watch it. So incorporating like songs to your videos, and you don't have to be singing to it, you don't have to be dancing to it. You can just, if it's a cooking video, put the popular song on it, because then people stop to watch it. I like the idea of the thumbnail. So a thumbnail is really good, because if someone comes to your profile and maybe your thumbnail is like something catchy, they're more likely to watch it and be attentive, because the video is more likely going to be engaging. Using the effects, I like the effects, because TikTok effects are very cool and unique, especially when I like use the green screen and I post it on my other platforms. They're like, girl, ooh, you're so good at editing. I'm like, yes I am, but it's a TikTok filter, you know. So it's utilizing those things, and I'm sure you guys.
Yeah, so I would say about sound is like every beat and every change in the sound usually should affect something in your video, right? TikTok users are trained for that. So if you hear a beat drop, that's a great place to have what's called a transition, where you either move to a different location, or you change your outfit, or you go to a new clip. So you should be thinking about the beats and the changes in the music as ways to organically change your content. That's where you should be splitting scenes, changing looks, changing outfits, different food, whatever it is you work in, listen to those beats and use those beats, because if you don't, it will be less successful. I would say that we talk a lot about watch time, and one of the big things that I see is people create videos that are just too long. In fact, we were watching something earlier and we were like, oh, man, this needs to be 15 seconds. This doesn't need to be 45 minutes. So I know you guys have these beautiful shots sometimes that you want to have, this long, perfect shot. It's probably too long. So think about like how much you really need to show to tell the story versus like getting the perfect pretty shot. And we talk a little bit about Easter eggs, which is something going on in the background that has nothing to do with the core video. Those are really, really important, because attention spans for teens are changing. Our generation, and I'm old, I'm old on TikTok, I'm 35. I don't say that in public very often, but here we are. We look at, and in my generation, we watch things and we catch the details, and that's all we need, so we can watch a 30-minute show and remember 5 minutes of it. This generation is hyper aware. So when they watch 15 seconds, they are watching the entire 15 seconds. So they want all of the details. And the more details you put in the background, the more they can relate to you. I have put a Diet Coke can in the back of my video sitting on a shelf. And then there's 30 comments down below where someone's like, girl, I love Diet Coke too. I didn't know you drank Diet Coke. Nothing in the video had anything to do with Diet Coke. But they will see it. So start thinking strategically, where am I filming? What's exciting about the background that adds an additional element to who I am? So you have to start thinking of yourself as a multifaceted person. You might be a fashion creator, but you also might really, really like, musicals. I looked at Courtney because I was just like, what does Courtney like? Courtney likes musicals. So you might have stuff about musicals in the background, just something that makes you relatable, something that makes you more human. And so really start thinking about who am I on the platform? How do I be the most human version of myself? This is not about yachts and champagne, though I wish sometimes it was. This is about real moments in your life. That's what people want to see on TikTok.
Right, and the watch times part of it is, that's where you see the millions of views, is it's because someone has watched it through. That's why sometimes the dance videos have a lot of views, because they're learning the choreography and they watch it over and over. You also can have something fun or a blooper or something right at the very end, or something that will make somebody want to watch it again. So those are just some things to think about.
Yeah, I think before we move on to the next slide, which slides into this nicely, there are a couple of things that are on here that are about discoverability on the platform. So sound choices are a huge thing around discoverability. Every time you use a sound, it puts a little record circle wheel in the bottom right hand corner. If you click that, it lists everyone's video under that sound. So it almost acts like a hashtag. Same with trends, usually have an associated hashtag, and effects as well. So if you use an effect in a really interesting and unique and organic way, your video can, and it does very well, your video can potentially sit at the top of that effects page. So green screen, for example, I'm sure these guys have a couple that sit at the top of the effects page on green screen because they used it really in really interesting ways.
Right, so it makes it really easy to look at, like you said, you tap on that sound, you can see everything that's been done for that sound. You can see how many videos have been created for that sound, so you can kind of see, and there's all different kind of trending lists and things. And so if you're trying to figure out you find that there's something that you feel you'd be good at or that you'd like to try, that's a good way to look at it, and you also can see examples and things like that.
Yeah, it's a good jumping off point too. If you go onto our Discover page, which is the little magnifying glass icon along the bottom, you can see the most recent trends. So you're able to take your lead from one of those. So if you're doing a food video, you can take that trend and switch it up to make it perfect for food. And it's different, right? Because people don't want to see this. You can see the dances as many times as you want, but once you've seen them 10 times, it's I know what that dance is. So if you can do something with that sound, with that trend, in your own vertical of content, then it can do really well.
Yeah, I've done a lot with that. So
Yeah.
a lot of the dance things I've turned into transitions for clothing. So I might even do the dance sometimes, but that dance move will change something about my outfit.
And it's adding an additional layer to that trend and making it something different.
Yep.
So then obviously everybody asks about the hashtags and the hashtag FYP or hashtag for you or for you page, and is it really a thing, Stephanie?
It's not really a thing. It's like using the hashtag TikTok. You can imagine how many posts are under hashtag FYP does not get your content onto, and every piece of content goes onto the For You page or someone's For You page. So using it is not going to make your content go viral. It's not going to give you any boost or anything along those lines. So I think that I would stay away from using it.
But what about hashtags in general for discoverability?
Yeah, I think that, so each hashtag has its own individual hashtag page, and it usually has a little byline to tell you what that hashtag is about. So you can go onto the hashtag page, you can see it, and you can create that trend. Or specifically, if you are doing something to do with food or fashion, make sure that the hashtags are relative to the video that you're posting. Because in Barbara's case, if she's working with a brand and she's looking for fashion bloggers, or fashion TikTokers, then she's gonna search fashion. And then all of the videos under that hashtag are gonna come up, and she can look at your guys' videos and be like, okay, I wanna use this person, this person, this person.
I would say always check out the videos under a hashtag to see how old they are too. Because if they are really old, you probably should not use that hashtag because it's dead. Things move on, right? So I think that's one of a big mistake I see that people make with hashtags is they pick up on a trend or a hashtag that is very old. What that also does is when people see your amazing video that you spend a lot of time on, is they go, oh, this person didn't know.
Yeah.
This is old.
You know, and she didn't know.
And it puts this negative in their mind, which is like you can avoid completely by just checking out that hashtag before you post it and finding the one that's current and relevant that actually helps.
And you can see all the current hashtags on the, is it on the Discover page, the magnifying glass? It has all the hashtags that are trending. So when you see like trends, there's like probably different challenges that are going on TikTok that you can just join in and easily just like get into the app.
And almost every single category has something on that page or something that you can make in relation to what you're doing.
There's like a hashtag now like pets on TikTok and you can film your dogs or cats, there's so many opportunity for whatever type of content you're making.
I mean, they really can be thought starters if you're trying to like think about something you might want to do, but also if it's like anything, just don't use all the spammy hashtag just because you think it's going to put you on a popular page or something else that's trending if it's not relatable at all to what you're actually creating.
Candidly, it's better to spend your time making good content than thinking about the right hashtag. Because a great piece of content with no hashtags is still going to do well.
Right, I have to say though, from our perspective of trying to find creators, I'll be honest, it's not that easy for us as brands or agencies to find creators for a variety of reasons. So that's why if it's your niche and you're consistent or those are the things you want to be discovered for, I would say use them. We've talked a little bit about your bio page, if you want to say like some new features and stuff, but what's important to put in your bio
Yeah, I think
page.
in your bio, put in your location, your email address. I think people don't see TikTok yet as a place where brands are contacting them, but so they have to link out to somewhere else to get your email. I think if you put your email in there, your location, and potentially like what you do, so a description, because what people are doing is seeing one video from you on their For You page, coming back to your profile, and then if they don't instantly get it from your thumbnails and like what they see, reading your bio really helps someone understand, oh, this person is really interested in fashion and lifestyle and pets. Oh, that's something that I'm also interested in, so I want to follow them.
Right, definitely if you can put, at least if you don't want to put what city you're in, at least put what state you're in, because there's a lot of times we'll have campaigns and we need to find where you are and we can't find you and it's really hard. So, and then just maybe talking about,
What are you going to say?
I don't know, what are you going to say?
The link?
Oh yes, the link, this is brand new. Yeah,
This is brand new, it came out yesterday, so I'm very excited that we can talk about it. We just launched the link in bio. So we actually, so now you're able to put in, work with brands easier because you can link out to whatever they want you to link out to, whether it's Fandango or their website or somewhere that you can shop their products, as well as your own merch. So if you want to put your own merch in there so people can go and buy it, it's something that we took steps towards making happen so that you guys can start to make money.
Yeah, that's a super game changer. That way, ideally they can find you right there. But let's just talk about, the thing I do love about TikTok too is that I think it's very, very smart that they made it very easy to follow you on other platforms too, and it feels very easy to share on other platforms. And I think that sometimes brands or apps are just too insular and they're just like, no, it's only about us. But this has helped build a whole ecosystem.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that?
Just from my point, it's all about, we want well-rounded digital talent, right? And I'm not saying that you shouldn't post on any other platform and be exclusive to TikTok. Not what we want. We want TikTok to be an addition to your other platforms, to show potentially another side of you, like the more authentic, the type of things that you don't want to share on your other platforms is what we want to see from you on TikTok. So what we're not doing is limited. So you can link out on your profile to your YouTube and to your Instagram directly, just by like putting in your URLs, and then there's a little button that you can click.
And I can speak on the cross-promoting content part. The link in bio part and feature is so amazing because I recently launched a podcast. Let me plug myself. Do it for the content, number 4. It's for creative people who are aspiring creators. They need tips for creating. You go there and listen to it. But I was telling my audience, and I know my audience, most of them are Gen Z, and I'm like, how can I get them to go listen to it without being like, hey, what's up, y'all? Go listen to my podcast. So I'm like, okay, I can incorporate the green screen and show what the my podcast page looks like. And I incorporated a sound that was popular, so it got like more visibility. And I told them it's in the link in bio to go directly to go listen to the podcast and give me a rating. And they all went to go do that. Well, majority of them that are loyal. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so it's just a great feature because the cross promoting is more easier for us. And I love that you don't want us to just be on TikTok. You want us to be diversified across all platforms.
So for me, TikTok has really like changed my life, and that sounds like a really like cheesy thing to say, but it really has. I'm plus size, obviously, and there's on Instagram and some other of the channels, even YouTube, you kind of get put in a box. You do plus size things, you're a plus size person. So here are the things that plus size people do on the internet, and congrats, that's what you do now. And that is how that world works. And I always felt like I only got to show a part of myself, and that who I got to work with and what I got to experience was limited by my size. So I went on TikTok to create content that I felt wasn't welcome on other platforms because of who I was. And what was crazy is what I found is it opened up this side of creativity in me that I didn't feel like I had a right to access. And I think it's really, really powerful when you stop thinking about what you can't do and start thinking about what you can. And I think for a lot of the established channels, there are so many rules. And we are told every day what we can and cannot do. And we discuss what we can and cannot do all day, every day. And on TikTok, it's about purely what you can do, what you want to do, and what you think the world needs. And if you live in those three thoughts, you will be successful. However, if you get caught up in the same games that exist on the other channels, you'll fail. I'm being very real with you. But because of this, I've seen myself work with brands that have never worked with plus size people before. I have seen businesses change their diversity in the creators they use on other channels. And I've seen brands that have refused to play plus size influencers before, now paying regularly myself and other creators. So because I thought I could, and because I found a channel that let me do that, I was able to make the change I wanted to have in the world. So for me, the reason I come and talk about TikTok all the time, is because I fervently believe if there's something you want to change, if there's an impact you want to have on the world, this is a place that will let you do it.
Let's get a round of applause for that.
Let's get emotional. I'm a crier.
Well, it is emotional. It is emotional.
It is. It changed my life, for real.
It's exciting and creative, and still so early in the evolution of this creative platform. So what the next thing I think you guys are all going to care about is working with brands. Working with brands on TikTok. So can you guys talk about some of your favorite experiences working with brands on TikTok?
Yeah, so on TikTok campaigns, they're more different than other platforms. Again, it's more organic and authentic to what you are as a person. And I know like on other platforms, you're like, hey, this is Coca-Cola, everyone buy, you take a picture, you post it. And it's not organic, you can't really relate to it. So most of the brands that I work with, I make sure my audience knows, like, if Drea's promoted it, this is the brand that Drea loves, and Drea actually uses it and is recommending it to us. So like I recently did for CoverGirl, their new foundation, which is like vegan and organic and everything, and I just love the way it feels on my skin, and I instantly wanted to work with them because again, they have shades for all types of skin types, and that's major key. So my video, instead of it to be like a very typical beauty kind of like transition or like this and that, I was like, I make comedy skits, so I want the video to be able to resonate with my audience. So I put a comedic twist to it. I was walking down, taking my selfies, had some haters behind me. I looked at them, I went up to them, I hit them with my makeup brush, and then they're like, oh my gosh, yes, CoverGirl. If you see the video, it makes more sense, but it got like 24 million views, has 1 million likes right now, and it's because it was relatable to my audience, and it's the type of content that they love, and they see that this is the brand that I'm working with, and they want to support me too, So that's typically how like most campaigns are on TikTok, and it's never like, hey, we want you to do it this way. The brands know they need to give the creators that creative freedom to do.
Because they are afraid and don't know what they're doing either, so they just want you to do your thing because you know what you're doing. I mean, that's really what comes across right now. They're just like, we're not really sure, so you just do your thing. You be you, you know.
Yeah, so I just did a campaign with Oreo, which I absolutely love. Each of us were asked to pick our favorite stuffing of Oreo, and I had original. And I always thought back to one of the places I start when I think creating is what emotion do I feel, especially for TikTok, because that's the emotion I want the person to feel when they're watching it. So when I think about Oreo, like what does it make me feel? And they have a huge sense of nostalgia. Like I think about my childhood and just sitting with a glass of milk and also making decisions with Oreos. So I made a video where I made a decision if I was going to dye my hair pink or not, and the Oreo told me yes. So I filmed the whole process of making the decision, dyeing my hair pink, and the transition into my new hair color. Obviously it's not pink anymore. And that video had millions of views as well, nearly 1 million likes as well, and it sat with people so well because it was that sense of nostalgia. It was giving that emotion back. So I think when we work with brands, we're always trying to stop selling your product, selling the emotion and the experience that your product brings to life.
Woo! So great. Yes, exactly. So we have a limited time because you have a very tight schedule. So that's going to be our last sort of talk on that aspect. But everyone's going to be around this afternoon and be happy to answer any more questions about TikTok. So please hit everybody up, and we really appreciate your time. Thank you.